Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. The time is always right to do what is right. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. The good neighbor looks beyond the external accidents and discerns those inner qualities that make all men human and, therefore, brothers, whatever your life's work is, do it well. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. We must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. A man's true wealth is the good he does in the world. Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. I have a dream that one day little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. To ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. The life of the nation is secure only while the nation is honest, truthful, and virtuous. We have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. A riot is the language of the unheard. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. There is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of the meaning of life. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. Everybody can be great, because everybody can serve. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. We will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. No person has the right to reign on your dreams. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. A lie cannot live. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a permanent attitude. Let us realize, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. There is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of breadth. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they'd die for. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. It is cheerful to know that I was born for such a time as this. The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of great moral conflict. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but one must take it because it is right. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. The good neighbor looks beyond the external accidents and discerns those inner qualities that make all men human and brothers. Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. A nation or civilization that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on the installment plan. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. The limitation of riots, moral questions aside, is that they cannot win and their participants know it. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. There is power in a union. Those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Always keep three things hidden from people. Your income, your next step, is your love life.